This is KGW News at 11.
He approached me and he started saying slurs to me, calling me names.
A TriMet commuter sharing his story after he was assaulted aboard a bus. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Adams. That commuter is now concerned that TriMet safety protocols aren't strong enough. Ashley Grahams shares his story.
Oscar Ortiz regularly commutes on TriMet. In February, he was on bus 77.
I was on my way to work.
He saw a man smoking at the back of the bus and decided to tell the driver.
I said, I think there is somebody smoking in the bus. I went back to my seat.
Ortiz says the man who was smoking walked up to him, and because of what happened next, he was too nervous to show his face on camera.
He called me names. He called me He spat on me.
Ortiz, who's a gay man, was in shock.
My mind got fixated on that word. Nothing else mattered at that point.
Then he said the man punched him in the face.
Tell the driver and say, call the police.
This is a photo of the man. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies are still looking for him. The man walked away. Then Ortiz said a few minutes later, he came back and punched him again before leaving the bus. Ortiz says he was disoriented. The TriMet driver asked him if he needed medical attention.
And I say, I don't need an ambulance, but I do think they need some type of help. I need help.
But didn't call 911. Ortiz still doesn't understand why. TriMet says the driver did call their operations command center and asked Ortiz if he needed an ambulance. A spokesperson said that Ortiz indicated he did not need medical attention, and the operator verified comments Mr. Ortiz was making that Mr. Ortiz planned to call 911 directly. That's when he stepped off the bus at 102 in Halsey and called police himself.
It made me feel like I don't count.
While he's concerned that his attacker is still on the streets, he's even more worried about TriMet's safety protocols.
I want for people to know when they are in the bus, they are practicing their own.
TriMet says they follow the direction of the rider. If they don't have visible injuries or they choose to call 911 on their own, the driver doesn't call for help.
I kind of feel like a TriMet should change some things.
According to TriMet, assaults related to the transit system decreased 59% from 2022 to 2023. Still, a TriMet survey shows riders are worried about safety. Last October, 8 in 10 riders said other riders' behavior is the reason they feel unsafe on board.
I have seen other people get punched. I have seen other people get hurt, but I never expected to actually be the person that gets hurt.
Now the photo of the man that you saw there, the one accused of attacking Ortiz, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is still looking for him. They're investigating it as a bias crime. John.
All right, Ashley, thank you. A hiker is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after falling from Spencer Butte south of Eugene. It happened around 3 this afternoon. First responders, including firefighters, search and rescue, and the Lane County Sheriff's Office were able to find the hiker and move them to the top of the butte. They were then taken to the hospital by a life flight helicopter. Well, this comes after a busy weekend for search and rescue crews in the Portland area. They worked nearly 40 hours straight looking for hikers missing in 2 different locations in the Columbia Gorge. The latest search started Saturday night. 2 women called 911 after they got trapped on a cliff. They were spotted with a drone and they were in contact with crews, but getting to them was still a challenge. The incident resolved itself earlier this morning.
As we were down here trying to decide what the next step was, at some point the 2 women actually had hiked themselves out.
Well, not too far away from that scene, another operation ended in tragedy. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says a 61-year-old woman was found dead around noon at the bottom of a cliff near Horsetail Falls. They haven't released her name or how she died.
It got really warm this weekend and people got really excited because we've had some pretty bad weather.
Search and Rescue shared some tips for people planning on hiking this spring. They say bring extra water, food, a flashlight, and even if the hike doesn't seem difficult, be prepared in case you have to stay overnight. And if you do get stuck somewhere, stay where you are and wait for help to come to you.
It's just nice, like that first sunny day of the year. Everyone's outside throwing frisbees, go on a nice brisk walk.
This is my first time here in since I was in 6th grade, so it's really nice to get out. It's a perfect day.
Looking forward to more sunny days like this.
Whether it was enjoying the St. Patrick's Day festivities or just enjoying a day out, people were taking advantage of the sun and those 70-degree temperatures out there. Joe Ranieri was out there earlier today. Enjoy some of those festivities. How long are these beautiful days going to be sticking around, Joe?
We got basically 2 more days, but 1 more day with temperatures really feeling more like late spring, early part of the summer. I was at one of my son's games earlier this afternoon. Got a little sunburn on the forehead. I didn't go up far enough on my school with the sunscreen, but looking at the weather headlines, the last few days of winter are going to be feeling more like spring. Record-breaking temperatures possible tomorrow. How's this sound? Daytime highs in the mid to the upper 70s. A few locations could flirt with that 80 mark. I don't think we're going to be seeing widespread 80. What we are going to be seeing, though, is a lot of sunshine. Showers and cooler weather returns later this week. By Wednesday, potentially, but I think for the most part, I'm calling Wednesday more dry than wet. I'll talk more about that in detail in just a few minutes. But here's a look at the temperatures right around the upper 50s, low 60s. Really, temperatures are kind of scattered all over the place. We have 52 degrees over in Southwest Washington. Sherwood's 55, and over in Forest Grove, a temperature of 61. Along the Oregon coast, we're seeing temperatures in the low 40s. A little bit cooler along the beaches earlier this afternoon. Yesterday, Astoria topped out at 75 degrees. Yeah, this afternoon, you saw temperatures right around 60 degrees. But that ridge of high pressure, that big H, is just going to be sitting over us all day tomorrow and a good part of Tuesday as well. But come Tuesday, we're going to usher in a little bit more of an onshore flow, and that just means increasing clouds. And with those increasing clouds, we'll be seeing cooler temperatures. But again, tomorrow, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the mid to the upper 70s in a few locations. By the afternoon, daytime or temperatures will be right around the upper 60s. Again, tomorrow, John, the record is 71 degrees. We could go above that by the early part of the afternoon. So I'll talk more about just how long I still can't go over how nice it is, but in my detailed forecast, I'll let you know just how long this stretch lasts and what we can expect to see heading into the later part of this week.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll be looking forward to that. Well, Portland police have arrested and charged a suspect they believe stabbed a man to death on the Steel Bridge on Friday. 31-year-old Noor M. Bahij was taken into custody Saturday morning near Northwest 5th Avenue in Flanders after police received a report of a person threatening someone with a knife. Investigators believe Nahij and an adult male were involved in a fight on the pedestrian pathway of the Steel Bridge on Friday. That man died at a local hospital after being stabbed. Bahij faces charges of manslaughter in the 2nd degree and unlawful use of a weapon. KGW spoke with people near the Steel Bridge on Friday. They say this incident is concerning.
At least a couple times a week I come here, but maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to stop going on the trails, but it just makes me feel unsafe.
If you have any information on the incident, you're encouraged to contact Portland Police. Well, a Portland man will soon face charges including 1st-degree assault after an overnight stabbing in Old Town. Police say it happened near Northwest 6th Avenue in Gleason just after 2, following a fight between 2 groups of people. Officers arrived to find a man with serious injuries, but he is expected to survive. The suspect, 21-year-old Yaimer Funes Cruz, fled the scene, and witnesses were able to point officers in the direction that he fled, and he was later arrested. Work continues on the Hall Boulevard overpass in Tigard. A reminder, the overpass will be closed for about 9 months so crews can rebuild it. And another reminder, Highway 217 is closed from Greenberg to 99W for road work. Both directions and some on-ramps will reopen tomorrow morning at 5. Now, this is all part of the 217 improvement project, with ODOT adding extra lanes to give people more space to merge into traffic. And a local business is getting help from the public after a series of break-ins. A GoFundMe for Vinyl Resting Place has raised more than $7,000. Now, we told you about this business last weekend after it was burglarized twice in less than a week. In one of those instances, the suspect stole about $5,000. While the suspect was arrested and charged, the owner was still out thousands of dollars. Now, the owner sent us a statement on the donations that were raised, saying he's fortunate for all the support he's received from the community.